Hey guys, I'm Oxy, and in this video I'm going to explain you what is a god roll, what does make a weapon to be a god roll, and how can they be qualified to be a god roll. I'm going to use an example, my heavy gunner, because I have a big collection of heavy weapons and a lot of them are god rolls. If you want to see every single weapon, I did make a video about my heavy gunner heavy weapons collection, which you can watch in the description. So let's take this weapon as an example. It's an ultra seed Gatling laser and it's a god roll. As you can see, it's an anti-armor, faster fire rate, reduced weight. But what does make this weapon to be a god roll? There is three things that you need to look at when it's about a god roll. The first thing is the legendary effect combination. The second thing is the legendary effect synergy, and the third thing is the legendary effect combination synergy on the specific weapon. So as you can see here, we have anti-armor, which is a very versatile legendary effect. It's good for low health or full health builds. It's good on melee weapons, commando weapons, heavy weapons, pistols, you name it. It's a really good legendary effect. Now the second thing what we have here is faster fire rate, which is a really good legendary effect on any type of automatic weapon. As you can see, this is a heavy weapon, it's fully automatic, so having a higher fire rate makes it to be even better. And the last thing, as you can see, is the perfect synergy for this weapon, which is reduced weight. Why it's the perfect synergy? Because reduced weight makes the weapon to be 90% lighter, and it's really good for heavy weapons. Guess why? Because they are quite heavy. Now, if the third perk was faster reload, would be also quite good because heavy weapons have a longer reload. Now, if it was, let's say, less AP cost in VATS, would be completely useless for this weapon because it's not a weapon that is good in VATS. If it was anti-armor, faster fire rate, less AP cost, Fixer, which is a commando weapon, and you can make it to be fully automatic. Now that would be a god roll fixer. So it's really all about the legendary effect combination, the legendary effect synergy, and all of those two combined with the weapon. On what kind of weapon you have all those. That's what makes a weapon to be a god roll. In this case, you can see the Gatling laser already have a very high fire rate. Now with faster fire rate, it's even better. As you can see, it's not the strongest weapon in Fallout 76, doesn't have the biggest damage, but does have the fire rate, so you can shoot very fast with this weapon and you have a high ammo capacity. So you can stack up that damage very fast. This is why this weapon qualifies as a god roll, but let's look at another weapon and why does it qualify as a god roll. Let's take for example my 50 cal. It's one of my favorite weapons to use in this game, and what we have here it's an anti-armor explosive reduced weight 50 caliber machine gun. Again, you're going to look at the legendary effects first, and we have anti-armor explosive and reduced weight. How does the synergy between them is going? It's actually really good. Anti-armor it's good for pretty much everything. As I said, explosive goes very well with heavy weapons, with commando weapons, with pistols, you name it. Explosive is just overall really good on pretty much everything. Basically, it just give you more damage. And the last thing, it's reduced weight, which is also quite useful on heavy weapons because they are heavy, as I said before. So as you can see, we have the synergy between the legendary effects and we do have it on the right weapon. Right now, if we would have this legendary effect, let's say on a fixer, it would be a good fixer, but you would really want as the third perk less AP cost. That would have been even better. So that's the difference between a good weapon and just a god roll. Now let's look at a good weapon because not everything that I have here is actually a god roll. I do have just good weapons. Take this chainsaw for example. As you can see, we have anti-armor and power attack damage with damage when blocking. Now, this is not a god roll, but it's a good chainsaw. Why it's good? The first legendary effect, as you can see, it's anti-armor, and I already said it's good for pretty much everything. The second one is power attack damage. This is considered to be a power attacking weapon, so with that we're getting 40% more damage. And the last perk, as you can see, it's blocking damage, which is completely useless with this weapon because you're going to kill everything so fast. And who is blocking really with a chainsaw? Who is actually blocking in this game? That's a good question. So as you can see, it's a good weapon, but it's not a god roll. Now, if this was anti-armor power attack damage and taking less damage when power attacking, that would make it to be a god roll because you have the anti-armor effect, you have the effect that is boosting your and power attack damage, and you would have the effect that it's actually reducing the damage that you are taking. Now that would be a perfect god roll. So hopefully after this video you make an idea what is a god roll and what is not a god roll. That's the explanation for it. It's really all about the legendary effect, the synergy between the legendary effect and the weapon. You need to have all those three on the right weapon and it's going to be a god roll. That's all for now. Thank you very much for watching and see you guys in the next one.